October Red is sponsored by SA Security. Maximum security, minimum fuss.
Hello, Eddie. How are you?
Oh, that's better.
There you go. Time to relax and make this all about you. I've seen you answer 5,000 questions about the same thing. So I did have certain questions I wanted to ask. Most of them have probably been answered.
That's all right.
So we're going to start this off with, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. I'm feeling good. I've been travelling non-stop. I was in Saudi,
Yep.
and that time zone kills me the other way.
Does it?
I don't know why, because no time zone kills me. I can go New York, I can go to LA, I can go to Australia, I can go to Singapore. It doesn't matter. But when I go to the Middle East, for some reason, I go to bed at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I wake up at 10 or 11. And I just, So then I went to Dubai, and then flew back here, and now we're in Birmingham. And ready for a great fight night. But I feel good, training hard, really excited about my work. Life is good. I've kind of made the decision as well. As I get older, I'm just going to chase the sun.
Explain.
Because being in the sun or good weather makes me feel much better. So, like, obviously I'm here now, so
Birmingham's
a bit. But then we got Monaco next week, bit cold, yeah. Then we got Stockton, California, so that'd be nice. Then we got Miami, right, for AJ, and then we got Saudi again. So I'm going to be in the sun. Then I'm going to have maybe a week or so off in the sun again. Do you know what I mean? So, and January's a bit miserable, isn't it? So I'm gonna, as I get older, I feel like it's going to be more beneficial to me to be in the sun.
You know what? I am looking at you, and you do look like you've got a bit of a tan.
I've got a bit of a tan. Yeah, I have. When I'm away, I'm a true Brit. So whenever I'm,
so you are.
The boys will know. Like we'll finish a presser. I look outside. We're away. Hang on, I'll just go and have 20 minutes.
Fair play.
You look much better when you got a bit of a tan.
You do.
You know what I mean? So
you do.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to ask you about. Obviously, you've signed Ben Whittaker. I always thought that was a great match. Like I said, it was literally like whose head's going to fit through the door first. You really do bounce off each other. I like the matchup. One thing I want to ask, because I know with you, Eddie, in a way we've got a little bit of a similarity, and the similarity is loyalty. We take that very seriously, and I think if somebody crosses us, we can take it personal. Now, Ben Whittaker's made this choice for his career to come with the best promoter in the world.
Thank you.
To get that platform, to get himself out there. When you see a fighter leave another platform and come to yours, does the loyalty thing go through your head? And I'm just saying that.
Good question. Yeah, the answer is no, because obviously I'm focused on signing. Yeah, it is. But I also know that the job wouldn't have been good enough that was done. And I know that for many reasons. But also, I'm big on loyalty as well. But I'm very selfish. And I'm very driven, and I will make selfish decisions for myself and for where I'm going and for the company, and
so that takes feelings out of it, then, doesn't it?
A little bit, but at the same time, I won't also be disloyal or not respect what's been done for me or the opportunities people have given me at the same time. So, but in this game, it's a very short career. So I think that if the job, and when you feel like you've done an amazing job for someone and you've really, you've lost money on them and you've kept going when no one else believed in them and then they go, that's quite hard to take. I've had it a very few times in my career, but it does leave a bad taste in the mouth. Chris Eubank Jr. said something interesting in the build-up to the last fight where he's like, they were like, you're very cold. And he's very cold. I'm also very cold. And I think that comes from your upbringing of being around someone who is, my dad's nothing like Eubank Senior, but just a little bit selfish, and you have to be, but also a winner, driven. Do you know what I mean? So like, I didn't come from like a mollycoddled family where it's like, oh, Edward, come here. It was like, don't get me wrong, I had love in the household, but not the same way that I see some people around. And like, when he said that, it's one of the first things I kind of resonated with Eubank on, where it was like, yeah, I'm pretty emotionless as well. The sport does it to you. Forget the family side. That can make you a little bit emotionless because you're just built to win. rather than to necessarily love. Like,
It's making sense.
And I had
to
a
me
great
now.
upbringing. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't, but I was brought up to work and to win. That was it.
Competitive as well, even with your dad. You like,
But he sometimes called, even now, my dad says, Eddie was always my project. I'm like, thanks a lot.
wow.
And he means that. Like he loved me, but he raised me to be a winner and to work and to understand. And he's done a great job. Now, it probably does make, that sometimes people in the office take mickey out of me and say, I need therapy, but unfortunately, you are what you are.
Yeah.
Right? So a good way is to understand why you're like that. That's half the battle. And then worry about if you actually want to change it or not. And the answer is
No.
not really. I'm not. So, but when Eubank said that, so that kind of loyalty stuff, you kind of, like Eubank for me has no loyalty to anyone, right? And there's a lot of fighters like that. I don't necessarily, I can't hate it completely because they're just like Canelo's another guy. Canelo,
True.
Don't get me wrong, Canelo's can be a loyal guy, but ultimately, if you've got the right deal for him, he's going to sign with you. If you haven't, he's off.
Yeah,
but he'll tell you that. Like he won't go, Eddie, I want to be with you forever. I'd never leave you, blah blah. And then he'd go. He would go, Eddie, I love you. I love working with you, and as long as you've got these opportunities for me, I'm in. Now, when they stop, I'm off. But at least you know where you stand. Do you know what I mean? And then you get the ones that do show you unbelievable loyalty. AJ's the classic example of that, who's re-signed 3 contracts with us.
Yep.
Never talked to anyone else. Like that just makes you emotionally more attached to that individual, and it makes you go above and beyond, and it makes you want to never let them down. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like my relationship with Conor Benn as well. I mean, the loyalties come from me because he's, now he's at the stage where, but he shows me that love back because he knows that I had his back at all times.
I was about to say it's a little bit deeper because of that, because you stood for it with him through all his trials.
But that's the relationship.
Tribulations.
That's why you saw the pictures and the scenes between me and him in the ring. And that's what I live for, those moments. Like that, when he's going up to me, he's like looking in the ring, where's Eddie? Yeah, we did it. Like that's the journey. And you can't buy that ever. My dad always said to me, if you can get 1% of the adrenaline that a fighter gets when they ring walk, you'd be a lucky man. I feel like I get 80%, 90%.
We've seen
and
the
that
pictures.
moment, but that moment in the ring, that felt like Froch Butte, Barker Gill, Bellew Makabu, all of those great, Joshua Klitschko, that was right up there. Taylor Serrano, do you know what I mean? Where it was like pure euphoria of victory. And it wasn't, people say, oh, yeah, you were so happy to get one over on Eubank. No, I was so happy to see Conor Benn win.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And and we all won. Great. But it was those moments. I don't like having a relationship with a fighter where I don't really know them, or, I just deal with the manager, because how can you become motivated for them? And as a fighter, you should want to get as close to me as possible.
True.
To get me invested in your career. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But a lot of fighters don't want that a lot of managers don't want that because it kind of makes them a little bit redundant.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Devin Haney. Now, I will ask you this is my personal opinion. I enjoyed his fight with Ryan.
Yeah.
I did. I enjoyed it. And there's a few rumblings online, and I want you to address this directly if you can, that they've said the reason why you don't want to let Conor go in with Devin Haney because you deep down you believe that he's the more skilled boxer, and Conor, there's no way Conor can beat him. What do you think?
I think Conor can definitely beat him. I think Devin is probably the more skilled boxer. Yeah, but when I say in my comments, obviously I don't promote Devin, so people think that I'm bitter towards it. I'm really not. If I promoted him, I wouldn't be saying he was boring. I admit that.
Well, we've seen it.
But I watched it on the front row with all the other people who also say boring, but I just didn't find it. I didn't find it enthralling. I didn't find it entertaining. And I like boxing. Don't get me wrong. But when you're not my fighter, I'm just going to give you my honest opinion. And everybody on that front row was pretty bored with what they were watching, right? especially when he dropped Brian Norman, and you know he can stop him. You know if he just takes a few chances. But Bill Haney, and that they're not into taking chances. I respect it. It's a tough game, and if you can win a fight off just boxing over 12 rounds, so be it. I also said you have to respect Devin Haney. He's a 3-division world champion.
You did.
Like, what he's done is unbelievable. But I didn't watch that fight, and I know the Ramirez fight before, which was awful.
It
right?
was, yeah.
And this was better, but people, and I know because I've represented Devin Haney, people don't want to tune in to watch that. They just don't.
Fair enough.
You know boxing, I know boxing. People like Shakur, all these guys, they're going to go, yeah, that was great. But, and people say, well, you work with Shakur. Watch Shakur against Zepeda. It was nothing like that. Look at how many punches Shakur landed and threw in that fight. But I also understand and respect the sport enough not to go, I can't just go up to these fighters and go, you got to be more entertaining, mate. They go, what? I'm winning every round. I go, yeah, but just understand that if you fight like that, people aren't going to want to tune in, and therefore people aren't going to want to pay the money. Bill's done a great job with that, Devin. He's raided the bank. He raided my bank, right? And I paid him millions, and he made a fortune with me, and good luck to him. He's a great fighter. But he used to be more entertaining than that. He doesn't want to engage. He doesn't want to get hit. And the Ryan Garcia fight had a big effect on him and the way he feels about boxing. Still a great fighter, still an amazing champion, but, I'm just sort of watching that going, because don't forget, I've worked with him when he didn't used to fight like that. He didn't. He was very technical, but he was always engaging, and he was always, looking to counter. And now it's more like, you'll throw a few, and obviously had him hurt, had him finished, and, Bill doesn't like what I say, but Bill plays a good game.
Fair enough, and you've addressed it. Another thing that I wanted to ask you about is obviously Anthony Joshua going over to America. It was weird to see you not there actually, and Frank Smith there instead. But whatever, it worked.
Yeah, look, I have a exclusivity with the Zone, and obviously I'm
that.
working with Riyadh season. Jesse Rodriguez is fighting over there. I just felt it was a bad look for me to leave all that to go for the presser. Obviously, and by the way, they don't have you up for the presser either.
No, they didn't.
So I wouldn't have been up for the presser. I'd have been standing around like a plum. But, fight week, I'll be there the whole... fight week, I'll be there the whole time, and we'll have a great time.
What do you think of it? I mean, fair enough, it's a money grab. It seems to be, it's a no-brainer. It's this, it's that. When you think about what you built with Anthony Joshua, I was there. I wasn't there, but I remember you signing him. I remember, the pictures in the office, him sort of smiling at you both, looking at the camera. This is the future. You two are what brought my eyes back to boxing. So it's pivotal, it's core in my mind. So when I see how boxing is evolving, it's changing, and it's sort of becoming more of a, one for a better word, more of a circus than the actual skill of the sport. Did you ever envisage that Anthony Joshua would go in? This is what I'm saying. It's like,
no. I mean, look, I think you're right in some of the things you say, but don't forget that the beauty of the sport and the great matchups still exist. But there is this world now where everybody is, the world's changed a lot, and did I ever expect him to fight Jake Paul? No. But the reality is we just couldn't say no. And when people say, "Oh, do you think he should be taking the fight because of his leg?" It's like, really? So you would need us to turn down one of the biggest paydays of his career by saying this: we're not going to take this fight because we don't think it's good for his legacy. I just can't do it.
All right.
I couldn't. I couldn't. I mean, if I said that to him, right?
Yeah.
He would probably think, what? And if he said that to me, I would be convincing him to take the fight. How can you not?
No, I get that.
Money's money. And at the end of the day, it's not like we're going in and we're fighting, I don't know, a chimpanzee or a leopard. I don't know.
Fair enough,
we're fighting a top 50 cruiserweight in the world who I don't think's on Anthony's level at all, and I think he's going to get knock Spark out, and AJ's going to make a fortune, and then we go back into the real stuff in 2026.
The real stuff. And what I want to go to there is I watched a TalkSport interview with Ben Shalom, and as the interview went on with Ben Shalom, I think it was with Jim White and Simon Jordan, I sort of like started to curl up into the settee because it was just getting worse as it was going on. Basically, they alluded to the fact that, or a rumour that Eubank went in there not fit, and they were sort of like pinning Shalom to say that he wasn't fit when he went into the interview, and then Shalom was saying he was a shell of a man, and then Jim White clawed in on that, a shell of a man. So you knew that he wasn't all right, and I'm thinking BBFC, you're going to look at this and why?
But I mean,
Why would
firstly,
do
when
that,
you get
Eddie?
beat, like, you know, you have to come up with something. The reality is I saw Eubank weigh in on the Friday. Physically, he looked 20 times better than he did in the first fight.
Yeah.
I'd just come back from Dubai, from the gym where he was training.
Yep.
Everyone said he looked fantastic. He was training so hard. I mean, he looked really well all week. You go in there, all of a sudden he loses every round, he gets battered, and he was a shell of a man. Like, we can't tell you what happened, but
Anybody
I mean,
with half of a brain, he said.
also,
would know
how
that.
bad was it that what you saying? You let him fight? Because you're dressing it up like this was like life-threatening.
But this is
Do you know
what
what I
I'm
mean? I
saying.
mean, it's absolute bullshit. Every fighter goes into a fight with a problem, right?
Yeah.
Could be an injury, could be you've had a cold the week before, could be you've struggled at the weight, could be you had a bad spar. Like, the reality is, when you get beat and you go in that ring, you take it on the chin. And to be fair to Eubank, he said it in the ring. And now people around him want to grab the money, make the excuse. They want to talk about a third fight
heard that.
because he wasn't ready. And Ben Shalom says, the reality is Conor Benn's next fight will be Chris Eubank. Bollocks. We just won every round and battered him. In fact, if there was an extra 15 seconds, not a minute, he would have hurt him bad. And if he ever fought him again, he would stop him inside 6 rounds. Eubank is done. He's done. The first fight took a huge amount out of him. He's 36 years old. He's had a great run. He's made a load of money. Just go. He's got twins on the way. Go and enjoy your life. And let this young whippersnapper, Conor Benn, who's got another 6 or 7, 8 years left in his career, go out and have some fun. And give him the credit that he deserves.
Yeah. Whippersnapper Ben Whitaker, and this is my final question. I've often said, we spoke about the earlier matchmaking. You've discussed that. You've put that out there. My ignorance is I don't know much about his opponent. I trust Tom Dallas. I know what he's like, so I know he would have looked for a credible opponent as his first opponent. I remember when you signed Galal Yafai, he went in for the silver WBC at his weight, straight away, straight into those challenges. And I mentioned to Lee in the previous interview that I would have liked to have seen potentially Ben Whitaker going with a Craig Richards, a Joshua Boatsi, a Dan Aziz, straight away.
Yeah, no, but we've got to be ready for that. And he's not fought the opposition other than Liam Cameron, which was a great win last time out, looked great. We got to get it right. Like, those fights against those guys that you mentioned there.
Yeah.
Those fights are 1 and 2 fights away, right? We can't get it wrong. We can't go in and just like, this is his first fight. There's a lot of attention on him right now.
Yeah, there is.
Let's get him out. Then I would like to box him in America early in 2026. And then all those names that you just said, late spring, early summer, perfect. He's had 10 fights. Let's get him to where he needs to be, because this division takes no prisoners.
Well, we've
right?
seen
and
that,
you've
haven't
got to go through the levels. You've got to prepare perfectly for what's to come. So when you got someone as big as a draw name star as Whittaker,
all right,
got to get it right. This will be a good fight on Saturday against someone that's coming to win.
Yeah.
And then plenty of stiffer tests to come.
Listen, Eddie, as always, a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
The one promoter that's always believed in me and pushed me to work harder is Eddie Hearn.
Red is sponsored by SA Security. Maximum security, minimum fuss.